final Washington Commanders 7-round mock draft stream of the 2025 draft cycle. Let's get busy. What it do, Washington Commanders faithful? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. And today, me and my boy Lake Lewis, when he gets in here, we are going to do the final Washington Commanders mock draft of the cycle. We are 1 day away. We're about 31 hours from the start of the 2025 NFL draft. Our Washington Commanders are picking 29th to start the draft. Will they stay there? To be determined. TBD. And based on everything I heard from Adam Peters and Lance Newmark yesterday, everything's on the table for this team. Everything is on the table tomorrow and the next day for the 2025 draft. Apparently, the Giants and Browns are looking to get up in the late 20s to select the quarterback, meaning they're going best player available with their early picks. So Washington may have some suitors if they're looking to trade back. There's not many people looking to trade up in the first round based on everything we're hearing, but things change really fast once the draft gets going. And once one or two players that surprise everybody. The draft always starts when some shit that nobody predicted takes place. Last year, the draft for real started when Michael Penix went to the Atlanta Falcons. It was mass hysteria. There was shock. There was crashing out. There was a little bit of everything reaction-wise when the polarizing pick comes in. So that's when officially the draft starts at that point. Waiting on my guy Lake to pull up, man. Shout out to Lake Lewis Jr. He's been killing it, feeding families all off season with the content, and he got his radio show kicked off a couple weeks ago. Love what my guy's doing. Waiting on him to pop in right now. What up, Paul? Hope you're feeling great on this beautiful day. It is indeed a beautiful day. It is a happy hump day for those who celebrate. Happy draft day eve. It's a beautiful, beautiful time to be an NFL fan, because after this draft finishes on Saturday afternoon/evening, then it's pretty much nothing. It's pretty much nothing. A bunch of nothing burger and us overreacting to OTAs and mini camp and media day and possibly the new uniform they're adding and stuff like that. It's gonna be a quiet couple months, so we gotta enjoy this. This is the we got the schedule coming out as well. That's something to celebrate. For a week, we had to watch your evil twin who looked like Norbert and Eric the enemy. Hey, y'all was frying me, man. Y'all was frying. We bearded up again. We bearded up right in time for the draft, man. Travion. Yep, you see my video earlier today. If you haven't yet, Washington and a few other teams, the Kansas City Chiefs, are checking in the draft stock of Ohio State running back Travion Henderson. A lot of people expect him to be drafted significantly earlier than people thought previously. And it's feeling like Travion's going to be a night one pick. And I could see it. Me and Jalen, we've been going through our picks for our mock draft tonight for the full first round. Travion didn't make it to us. I'll take you that, man. He said, I see you got a little dirt on your jawline and a little shadow, a little something. But let me put this away. My boy Lake is checking in right now. Let me bring my guy on. What up, Blake?
What's up, fam? How you doing, man?
The backdrop. I see you with the backdrop, my guy.
Man, I gotta change. I had to keep that. Had to do it that way. So it was recommended from one of the networks. So
it looks great, man. You look like a network person now, man. How are you doing 1 day before this draft, Lake?
I'm good, man. This is it's that time of the year. I'm excited. I know I'm not excited I'm gonna be at Commanders Park all night, but because they picked 29th. I'm not used to that, Rio.
I know, man. We talking about we probably picking it like 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard at the earliest.
Exactly. And so I'm like, do I even need to get a hotel? Because I'm gonna be there all night. you know?
As someone who's worked for and covered the league for such a long time, do you know if the league like suggests and recommends teams to use the whole clock in the first round just to keep up with the spectacle
I know they do for the first five.
for the
you
first
know, they're
five picks?
yeah, they definitely, that's let's face it, those teams need that coverage anyway because normally when you're picking in the top five, you're terrible. So it's kind of like to sell to the fans a new day, something better's coming. So
Mhm.
yeah, I could definitely say yeah, they do want you to use that because you already know who you're picking. If you're the number one pick, the Titans already know they're picking Cam Ward. Last year the Bears, that was the worst kept secret of all of football. The Bears, you knew they were taking Caleb. So yeah, why did it take so long for that to happen? That's just because that's TV, advertising, sponsorships, the whole nine.
Yeah, because the draft is pretty much the off-season Super Bowl. It's the highest rated, most exciting event that happens out of season. And I remember when guys were signing before the draft. Like you remember certain
Yeah,
guys,
man.
the number one pick used to have their contract negotiated days before the draft. NFL said, yeah, we're gonna do away with that. The NFL also they're trying to tell Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter to stop tipping the picks in prime time. So now they do this thing where they pretty much tip it without tipping it. They'll say something like, Washington, they've been taking a keen interest to Emmanuel Forbes. Look out for that one.
Yeah, let's not bring that one up.
Oh
Yeah, that
man.
that 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 was a bad look a couple years ago when that went down. Oh my God.
Boy, have we gotten to greener pastures. So, my guy Charles said, shout out to the great questions yesterday. Let's get right
Appreciate
into
that.
that. Yep, you were there. The entire media was around to talk to Lance Newmark and Adam Peters with their pre-draft press conference. You asked two really good questions. You asked about doing business with your ops with guys like divisional rivals, Philadelphia Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, and you asked the question about a receiver. I see how you try to sneak that one in there. You try to get a little nugget.
Did you see Adam's face? And if you
Yeah.
go back and watch, he smiled.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was told something, so I can't say it, but yeah, man, he's definitely in play. I can say it, Luther Burden, he's in play for real.
Mhm.
And you and I both like that guy. I know
Oh
that.
yeah. Mhm.
Listen, I know a lot of people out there would say if an edge rusher sitting there, but I even think when you listen to what Adam was saying to us, earlier in the presser,
Mhm.
that they're not just going to take a position because they need that position
Mhm.
if it's not the player they want. So for the sake of that, they're not just going to take any old edge rusher if there's one left because all the other ones are off the board and Washington needs one. They won't do that. So I love that answer because that tells me that they are picking best player on the board. And when you're a team that was in the NFC Championship game, you just gotta trust the process and know that these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, and what were your main takeaways from what they were saying? Because they do a great job of engaging you guys, giving you guys well thought out and articulated responses while also giving you nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly right, Rio. I mean that's why I wanted to ask the question as far as the receiver, and I told Adam I'm not mentioning any names, but I just wanted to get a reaction, just from the standpoint of they're not giving us a whole lot. They can't give us a whole lot. They can't tip their hand, as much as we pressed and asked. They can't tip their hand because, who's to say that they keep that 29th pick? If I was a betting man, I'm betting that they're trading out at 29. I truly believe that. Because if a player that they really want is sitting there at 29 and they know that they can move back a couple picks and still get their guy and accumulate maybe a fifth round pick in this year's draft,
Mhm.
you got to do that. You have to do that.
Yeah, man. I see such quiet confidence between those guys. I see grace. I see genuine good people. Adam Peters spent the first third of the presser just thanking everybody in the organization, the scouting department.
Everybody.
They're talking about guys with lifetime achievements as scout. They're thanking the cafeteria staff. They're thanking the cameramen, the content team, everybody who puts 10 toes in Ortho Virginia Training Center at Commanders Park. Just thanking him, calling guys out by name, Doug Wood, everybody, Tim Gribble, who's still there putting in work for the team. It's just you can tell the team's run by good people now. Like we used to be such a sour, like you couldn't even exit cleanly. Like we had to smear you on your way out the door. Hey, by the way, guys, the guy we just fired, he's still a drunk. Like, come on, man. Like it used to be nasty over here.
Man, it really was, brother. And to hear that yesterday was awesome. You're right. That's how they started the conference with us, the presser with us. And yeah, man, shouting out everybody. Shouted out Chef Connor, who's cooking for us now in the media. That's again, man, it used to be, you know, if it was anything, I remember there was no food coming from anybody. But then when it was, dry burgers and chips, not even dry burgers. I'm just, joking. But last year we talking about like rockfish and and shrimp and you name it. It was served to us, and you just wonder why the good programs out there, you don't hear any media going after people, because well, I'm not saying that, you get bought off. That's not what I'm saying. But when you get treated well, you look for more positive stories. I've always tried to just do positive stories. That's my style. But I can say this. It does make them stories feel even better when you got a full stomach on your,
Oh,
on
for
you.
sure.
So,
Snyder had y'all with the brown paper bag lunch you used to get for the
Lord,
field trip, the kindergarten field
with a
trip
dry hot
lunches for the
dog.
Mike McDaniel has still never let it go that he charged staff for coffee. Like
That's what I'm saying, man. It was so bad, and now, honestly, like yesterday for me, it just felt very relaxed. Maybe not, I'm not throwing stuff out there, but I don't get down with everybody. That's just me. In the media, I don't, so I don't have a problem saying that because there's things about people that I don't care for how they go about their business. But with that said, from the team perspective, PR and obviously with Adam and Lance and just the way they treat you, like when I rolled up, you know, Adam's right hand guy, that's my dude. They were backing the truck up, moving stuff around, and he saw me and came over like 20 feet away, came over to hug me, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's just a different vibe, and I hope our media room picks up on this and changes the way things are done in the media room, because I'm coming for people this year. I'm not allowing for some of that stuff to continue. So if the team can change for the better and everything's going well, then the media room can change as well.
hell yeah,
Just saying.
man. I love the vibe that we got going on here, man. It's just there's usually tension during draft season. No longer having a needed quarterback, actually having a GM, like a true GM, and people doing their job, no made up titles or none of that mess from before. It just feels like seeing them in their little matching black commanders get up. It just feels like we do this. Like we do this. This is what we do. We're not stressed. We're gonna knock this out the park this week. And there's just this confidence that reigns from it.
Yeah, and I think the person that really needs to be commended for all of this is Josh Harris.
Yes, sir.
You because there was such a curmudgeon as an owner before. I think people are naturally praising Adam and Coach Quinn the way they should. Don't get me wrong. But man, it still starts at the top and it just trickles down. And the fact that, Josh Harris had the vision to listen to people, to find the right GM, the right guy to lead the team, and then let that GM do his due diligence and his work to find the coach that he wanted, and then to let those two guys find the face of the franchise going forward, at your quarterback spot. I don't, there's owners that are still currently in the NFL that would not allow that to happen. They have to have their fingerprint all over everything. I
Mhm.
don't even need to mention the teams. You already know who they are, and that's
Yep.
why they struggle. And now for Washington, it's just awesome to know that I'm covering a modern professional outfit. That's the only way I
Put
can
that
say it.
modern in all caps. Modern, we're not in the stone ages of a franchise anymore. Have you seen this new draft room we're hearing about yet, or are they going to just show it all to us at the same
It's
time?
coming. Like yesterday, man, it was plastic and tape all over the place. They're totally, and like I said, when I saw Adam's right hand, literally, I don't mention names, but yeah, he was directing the trucks, the rigs that were moving everything, and all the players are there, so it was just activity everywhere. I saw Brandon walking through, Brandon Coleman, and I mean, dude looked like he'd been in the weight room like all off season.
Love the
Like his
energy.
body looked totally different. I saw Johnny Newton, all the dudes, so just to see all the stuff that's going on out there, I mean, it's a full blown project going on at Commander's Park. It looked totally different. So to answer your question, we were privy to it, but not like that. But I can tell you, when you walk in the building, you look left and right, it doesn't look like the same place.
Yeah, man, I love to hear it because I always say that the draft room, whenever they show war room draft night footage of this team in years past, it looked like a potluck luncheon at like your job, or like after church service finishes and they pull out the foldable tables and the little foldy chair. That's what it looked like. It looks horrible when they shoot to the draft room and you see that. It looks very YMCA.
It did, man, but nah, that's not going to be the case anymore. Adam was talking about it, so you already know it's going to be something. Just real quick, I see somebody had made a comment on there, JLG,
Yeah.
asking me as far as James Pearson. I think I said James Pierce all the way back in Indianapolis that there's no way Washington's touching that dude. So that's not breaking news, man.
Well, they did. They did. He did say some very interesting things when he was asked about selecting a player with
Character.
character
And
concerns.
I read between those lines too.
Mhm.
Like, don't dismiss it. I
Who was
think
the
James Pierce would.
49ers? I was trying to think who's the Niners player he's talking about that turned out to be one of their best locker room guys and better player. Because someone told me they think it was Dre Greenlaw, and I was like, what character concerns did he have going into the draft? I would have to go back to that class, but he
Yeah,
said,
when I was thinking the lineman actually. I did hear those things about Dre Greenlaw, but he was great,
mhm,
great dude. But I
mhm,
was thinking more of a defensive lineman,
a
somebody
defensive
that's
lineman
in the
maybe.
same thing. And I couldn't
Okay.
think of anything.
Mhm,
Armstead, definitely not. I mean, that
mhm. Because
if it
he's
was,
he
but
was like,
he
you got to
is.
be careful with character concerns and who's telling you what, because a
Yes.
lot of it's just noise,
Exactly. The only reason that I still say that the stuff that I heard about Pierce was true, or had some credence to it, was because the person that told me covers the Titans and lives in Nashville. He's evolved, so what I'm
Mhm.
saying, like, you want to hype up your own, but he was just, from what I saw, the whole story. I don't have to go through that. From what I saw in Indianapolis, made me think, that was a little strange the way he interacted with people, or his lack of interaction with people. And then the guy next to me told me, yeah, that's the knock on him. So, I wouldn't be surprised if James Pierce became a Washington Commander, because he's a really good football player, and that's a position that he could upgrade. But just knowing what they do, man, and how they're going about their business, I don't see it. And I've been
Yeah.
saying that for months now. I don't see it at all.
It just sounds like to me that Adam Peters made sure he did a job of yesterday of covering all grounds, that everything is on the table. Like, we could trade up, we could trade back, even though it's not likely to trade up with only 5 picks. But he let people know that anything that you possibly could think of is on the table. Any position other than quarterback is on the
Mhm.
table, and he made sure to slip that one in. He was like, "Hey, if Abdul Carter is sitting there at 27, we're gonna go ahead and trade up for him, man."
Of
I like, I,
course,
I
of
like that guy,
course.
man.
And,
Peters
and
is good, man.
and you know he covered. He did. He covered all bases, and by saying about the character concerns, that's basically saying to other teams, Rio, if if there's a player sitting there, we're open for business. If it's the right deal that's going to make the team better. So he's just saying that they're not going to automatically dismiss something before they even looked into it, and I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, isn't it just nice to know, man, that there's a real talent evaluator and GM in the building? I mean, there's
Yeah.
two of them technically because everyone knows Lance Newmark's going to be the next up in the
Yep.
league.
Yep.
So they've got two guys running it, and obviously with Dan, it's a three-headed monster in there, man. It really is.
And everyone appears to be on the same page. Lance Newmark, he's a man of few words, but it always sounds profound when he speaks. And
Yeah,
they
it
they
does.
talk about how they lean heavily in the draft and stuff like that on the coaches intel and the coaches opinion. I love how collected this effort was. What they say 1,000 times, that first presser, aligned division. We're watching it take place every time we see these guys operate.
They never talk over each other. They never step on each other's toes. It's almost like I said, when I was in Indy, that phrase that just kept coming up over and over and over was a commander, a commander, a commander. And I'm like, they really know what they want. And I walked away from Indy knowing that if you don't have a captain on you, you don't have a C on your chest, they're not going to dismiss you. And he even said this yesterday. It's not that we're going to dismiss you at all, but that's a big, big thing for them. And they want a locker room of guys that are natural born leaders and killers out there.
Yeah.
And that's what they're putting this thing together with.
Yep. And that commander tag, that captain, that's gonna get you, that's definitely gonna bump you up in that
Hmm.
category of player that they
Hmm.
have here. My guy Ellison says, Lake, where would you say Siobhan Revels on their board? The corner, the 6'2" corner out of East Carolina who had what, the hip in? Was it the hip for him or was it the knee? I think it was the knee.
I think it was a knee, but yeah, and that injury, excuse me, because he's a big dude, by the way.
Mhm.
Anytime you get a corner that's 6'2" or more, and those are the Dan Quinn type guys. You know what I'm saying? Those are the Joe Witt Jr. type guys that they want.
Mhm.
I do think that injury is scaring some folks because this guy was a clear first rounder,
Yep.
when the season started. So now, is he a first rounder? I think his talent is good enough to be in the first round, but I see him
Yep.
going in the second round, and he could be a really good fit, for Washington because of that size. I just think that in the second round, excuse me, I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied here, but I think in the second round, I think that there's some other positions, some other guys that might be sitting there. So he's a good football player, though.
Definitely a good football player. Shout out to Bet Boy Tony C. The more I think about it, he says that South Carolina safety Nick Eamon is looking better and better
Hmm.
to me. It's probably not fair to the young man saying this, but he's got the Sean athletic profile. You don't want to compare the player, but athletic profile wise,
I've been saying it forever.
he's one of the freakier height, weight, speed safety prospects that we've seen since Sean Taylor. He might have had the best combine we've ever seen at the position. And it's not just the combine. I mean, we're talking about a guy who had 4 picks this year, 2 pick 6s. He had a
His
third
game is
pick
going
six.
like this each year.
Yeah, he had a third pick 6 called back that would have won the game versus LSU, but he got called back for holding or something.
Hmm.
The dude had another 2 interception season, and he's only 21 years old, so he's not where he needs to be yet. But the ceiling's crazy, and I think the starting point. What safety in our room right now would keep him off the field? Because I don't see one.
No, there is not one, and I'm really high on Will Harris. By the way, really high on that signing. That was a great signing for Washington.
Mhm.
I'm just saying this. This isn't kicking someone on their way out,
Yep.
but I think Will Harris is better than Jeremy Chin. I just do. I think he's just more versatile. And in this defense, his type of play will be more beneficial. But Nick Emanwari is a whole nother level. We're talking about this different, and I think that where I think he's going to end up. I think Baltimore's drafting him. that's that's
Ooh.
that's what I think they're
Ooh,
pairing him with
Emin
Kyle.
with
Yeah,
Kyle
yeah,
Hamilton.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
nasty.
yeah, yeah. I think I really feel like that's what's gonna happen.
That's nasty.
So yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my God. The Ravens just draft every year. And the Ravens have like 12 draft picks, something crazy like that. So they're probably gonna them and the Eagles are probably gonna be maneuvering up and down the board all 3 days of the draft. But to get to Hootie's comment, I think they may trade Parsons. It won't be here though. They won't be trading him
Yeah, it
in the
won't be. It's
division.
not blasphemous to think that because
Yeah,
I don't see Michael Parsons in Dallas within the next 2 years. So is it going
working
to happen
out.
now? Is it going to happen later?
Yeah, I see them trading him out of conference or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but the people running the team. Sometimes you can pull the wool over some people. So maybe they're prime to get poached. You got to make that call though. I don't care who you are, but
Yep.
I know this. I don't want to see him back in Pennsylvania. I know that.
Yeah, he's a dog, man. Michael Parsons is a dog. They're gonna probably try to work it out a contract with him, but if they do trade him, I don't think it will be anywhere near the NFC East. And just to hit on one more thing, and we can get into our final Commanders mock draft of the draft cycle. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all sub up to the Lake Lewis Jr. YouTube channel where Lake is he's been given content all off season. He's got his radio show up and going. Make sure y'all sub up my guy and follow him on all social media platforms. So Travion Henderson, everybody's talking about him going round one now. Apparently, the Chiefs met with him on a virtual interview this
Told you.
morning.
I
They're
knew it.
according to Jeremy Fowler, us and a few more teams, they said expect him to go significantly sooner than most people anticipated.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
man. I knew it, and I kept telling people, Gentry's a really good back. I mean, but I watched him against my team in the playoffs against Penn State, and I didn't walk away feeling like totally blown away. And I mean, like, I think he's a really good back. Don't get me wrong, but he didn't give me Saquon vibes when Saquon was coming out. He just didn't. You know who gives me Saquon vibes, and I've been saying this for some time. It's Travion. I mean, he's the type of back that if he hits a crease, he's taking it to the house. And now, with the way the league has gone back, remember they tried to devalue these running backs over the past several years. But then Saquon last year and Jahmyr Gibbs and obviously Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. But all these guys showed you, that if you have a special back, Bijan, in Atlanta, if you have a special back, it just changes what you can do with your offense.
Yep.
And I think that teams are starting to realize if they can get them a game breaker, it just opens things up. And the last thing you'd want to see is Travion Henderson in Kansas City. My gosh, that could really
Oh my
do
God.
wonders for
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yep. I don't think Henderson's just a one down back. He's like a third down back on steroids. He can run between the tackle. He can take a screen to the crib. He pass blocks like a tight end.
Hmm.
And he's a team cap. Nah, I think Travion, like people are gonna look at the size. I don't think he's like Jahmyr Gibbs. They're two very different running back, but Jahmyr
Yeah.
Gibbs was less than 200 pounds when he got drafted in the top 15. Travion
Jameer Gibbs was a
Henderson,
converted wide receiver. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So,
exactly. And he was a
yeah,
converted wide receiver at 198 when he got drafted. Travion Henderson's in the 200s, and he has a little bit more stoutness to his frame than Gibbs had going in. I think Travion Henderson is a starting every down back.
I do too. And I see Locked On Law on there.
Mhm.
Respectfully, I disagree with that because
Yeah, me too.
I do think Travion is a every down back. And I think the only reason you didn't see that at Ohio State was because they had another back, who's potentially a late first round or second round back. You know what I mean? So, and then you also have 3, 4 first round wide receivers running around out there all the time too. So it's just shared by wealth, shared committee at Ohio State. So no one really gets a chance to go off.
Yep.
So I think that his
And they
best
both did.
football.
Yep. They
They
both did
did,
all the
when
time.
every time they got their opportunity to touch the ball, they made the most out of it. So I think if they're able to touch it even more, it could be something special.
Jamal Charles vibes. Exactly. Because Jamal Charles was a very undersized running back. And the way that he could run the ball, catch the ball, he was Mr. Everything for the Chiefs for quite some time. That's the type, that and Brees Hall, somewhere between that is the type of running back I see out of him.
Yeah, I see more of a Brees Hall type, that
Mm-hmm.
with that kind of speed.
Mm-hmm.
He also reminds me a little bit. They obviously went to the same school. He also reminds me a little bit of a smaller version of Zeke when Zeke was, Zeke Elliott was like in his first 2 years.
Killing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that I kind of see that, but obviously with much faster player. Zeke wasn't slow now, but Travion Henderson has track speed, and if you look at his
Burner.
look at his history go back to high school in Virginia, right down where I am.
Hope well.
This guy was a was a phenom. I mean, he was a 5-star back. And for him to go to Ohio State, that tells you all you need to know. The guy's good. He's well coached up, because one thing you can say about all Ohio State, I'm not talking about quarterbacks, but I'm talking specifically about their skill set folks. They normally do a good job at the next level right off the top.
You said y'all like Henderson's positive. What is his negative? His negatives are his size, and he broke his foot and banged up his ribs during his college career. But for the most part, he's been healthy. He's been out there. And the fact that he got the split carries with another very good running back that's probably going in the second round of the draft, he doesn't have as much tread on the tires as some of these guys coming into the league. I love Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton's got a million carries in college. It's not the same for a guy like Travion.
And if you ask me right now to give you my top 3 running backs, I say Genty, but I don't say like Genty, and it's not even close. Genty, I actually like Travion more than I like Amarion, and I mean that because I do factor in how much you've had the ball in your hands in college. And again, Travion did have some injuries. He was nicked up a lot, but he doesn't have the carries or the touches that Amarion has. Amarion was a one-man gang last
Yeah,
year,
he
like,
was
and
UNC.
Genty too. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they were
So
their whole team.
yeah, so it's different now, and I think for me, to be able to have a guy like that you can just turn around and get a ball to and watch, and if he hits a hole on you, I'm telling you, he takes it to the house. And there's certain backs, man, that's just what they do. And that's what they want to do. Every time they touch it, they're thinking I'm going to score. So I'm just saying, can you imagine him in Washington's offense?
Oh yeah, it would be spectacular. And when we talk about these players, we're not saying it as if each of these guys we like are the end all be all. We're saying have an open mind because there are a million and one ways that this pick at 29, if they even keep it, is going to go. So when we talk about the first pick Washington makes in this draft,
Hmm.
like Adam Peters said yesterday, other than quarterback, it could be just about anything. Best player available. And
Anything.
they have a criteria for it. Travion Henderson's a captain as well. So that fits the billing.
I'm telling you, man, when you
The
got that
billing.
C on your jersey, that they look at you a little differently in Washington now, if that's what you're doing. So I do like that Deuce McAllister. That's actually not a bad analogy at
Deuce
all.
was a dog. Deuce was a dog, man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he
Yep.
was. That's not a bad analogy at all.
Yes, no.
There's just people are like, oh, he's 5'10", 5'11", and I'm like, yeah, Brian Robinson's what, 6'1". Listen, sometimes you just have it, and sometimes you don't. So This guy's a burner, and as you said, he's a great pass blocking running back.
Yeah.
So you know that you'll have another guy that can protect your biggest asset and your most valuable player, which is Jaden
Mhm.
Daniels. Those little things don't go overlooked. Trust me.
Yep, he's going to block his tail off for him. And look who our assistant general manager is. I don't think Brian Robinson is David Montgomery, and I don't think Travion Henderson is Jahmyr Gibbs, but you can envision a future where there are Target brand them over here. We get the Target brand Sonic and Knuckles over here with a quarterback like Jaden Daniels. That is a dynamic offense, and I like the contrast between a running back like Henderson and Brian Robinson because their games are drastically different.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what you could say if Travion Henderson were to be in Washington. Travion is more of the Austin Eckler type of running back,
Mhm.
but with breakaway speed. and and for my money, Austin was their most valuable back last year. He was the guy that, when healthy and when playing, Austin was making things happen. There was no delayed running. He knew where he was going. And those are the little things, the little differences, subtle differences that you notice. And Travion is one of those guys too. There's no like indecisiveness. He's hitting a gap and he's gone. And those are just the little things that I think would make this offense more special.
I agree, man. Let's get to it now. Let's do what the people came to see. I'm going to pull up the mock draft simulator and we are going to get this final one. We may do one with trades and one without trade. Let's see how this first draft goes. We're going into draft night. We're about 30 hours away from the start of the 2025 NFL draft. No one knows what Washington is going to do.
No.
Let's start it up and let's see. Obviously, I heard the Titans brass, Mike Borgonzi and company talking yesterday, and they already know who they're picking.
There's no question. It's
Yeah,
Cam Ward. And I actually said that in Indianapolis. It's Cam Ward, and people are like, no, there's a chance that they may take Abdul Carter, and I'm like, no, they need a quarterback, and in that division that they're in, I mean, the Titans are clearly in a position where they can compete. If they have a quarterback, the Texans are still the best team. In that division. But when you have the Colts, they went out and hopefully they're hoping that Daniel Jones beats out Anthony Richardson for quarterback.
he better.
I mean, you think about it, and then you have, what is it, Jacksonville. They're a hot mess, but they have new coach now. They're trying to do some things. So I think if you're Tennessee and you can get your quarterback and a guy that you really know that you can build around and do some things with, you have, Callahan in another year. I think that they feel good about what he can do. So he could be good for 3 more wins for them just because they have better quarterback play, and 3 more wins in that division might get you a look.
It might do something in that division. Who knows what 3 more wins could do for you? So here's how we got it. Cam Ward went to the Titans. Abdul Carter to pair with Myles Garrett. The Giants went Travis Hunter. The Patriots went Will Campbell, balking up on the line. Mimbu to Jacksonville. McMillan, Graham, Jalen Walker, Genty, and Mike Green to pair with Montez Sweat down in Chicago.
Ooh, that's a
Will,
that's a that's a surprise right there.
the Niners desperately need a corner. They go Will Johnson. The Cowboys go Shamar Stewart. Amar Imanwari goes 13. That's the Javon Holland replacement. Tyler
Yes.
Warren to the Colts. Michael, what's sticking out to you so far?
I'm probably gonna say Shamar Stewart going really high,
Yeah, that's
and
a
if
little crazy.
Dallas takes him, good.
Mhm. Shador goes to Seattle. That's been happening a lot in the mock draft there. So Warren went to Indy and Colston Loveland goes to Tampa. Emeka Abuka to Bo Nix and the Broncos. Jade Barron falls to 21 to the Steelers. Booker, Harmon, Malachi Starks, our boy Ezaraku, and Nick Scorton off the board right before Washington picks, and Walter Nolan. Lake, we are now on the clock. Josh Simmons, Jihad Campbell, James Pierce, Omarion Hampton, Amos Luther Burden, Travion Henderson, what are we thinking? Oh, and are we considering trading back when we see the board as it currently sits?
So I just want you to pull up one guy from you and I've been talking about him, but I want your viewers to check him out. Um, I want you to pull up Princely. Okay.
Oh, Princely Man Meelan. Yep.
Yeah, man, Milan. I'm telling you,
Manly.
right there. Telling you guys,
At 29, though.
no. I would trade back.
Mm-hmm.
If but that's only if they wanted him. So I think you can get him in the second round. Matter of fact, I'm saying they're going to get him in the second round. I truly believe that. But for that first round, you heard me mention it yesterday in the presser. Luther Burden.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even be mad at it, bro. I wouldn't even be mad at it, Lake. I ain't even gonna hold you. But let's look at what's being offered to us. This is a steep trade back. You're going back 21, but you're picking almost consecutively. It's 50 and 52 for our 29th and our 7th rounder. We're gonna pass on this one.
Yeah, I pass on that one.
All right, chat. I mean, talk to me. Are y'all interested in this offer, chat? Y'all let me know. But you go ahead, Lake.
Yeah, I mean, like the couple that we've seen where it was, you move back to maybe, I don't know, you move back to 40 and you still pick up another pick. Yeah, I'm with that. But moving back to 50, you might miss the 6, 7 guys as you were surprised to see on your board. They're going to be gone by then.
Oh my God, that's 3 second. I mean, this is a far trade back. I wouldn't do this, but that's 2 seconds next year. And
hey, 81. You know what? I would consider that.
Far trade.
I would consider that.
Remember, we lost our 2nd and our 4th in the Laramie Tunzel trade for next year.
Ooh, and you're getting 2 seconds.
For next year, and we're trading back to 65, meaning we're going to be picking at 61, 65, and 81. I just don't know if I like our first pick of the entire draft coming at 61.
So maybe there's a way.
You trade up.
I don't know how this can work. Yeah, so you can accept that trade. So you have your 2s for next year, and then you use your 65th and your 81st to trade back up. But see, I think there's value with that 29th pick now, that where you can maneuver it how you need it to be. But 2 second-round draft picks is not bad.
Yep. Hey, so we got to have the conversation. This is the conversation that would be going on. You see, they like
Princely. You see that. You see that. You see that. I'm telling you, that Joker is nice. The
conversation we need to have in the war room is this guy. What is actually the red flags with this guy? How real they are? So because this is the best. This or Jihad Campbell are the best 2 players on the board right now.
And Luther.
And I like Luther Burden too. I like the running backs. I like Hampton. I like Travion. So here's the deal. He has shoulder surgery. Jihad Campbell. This is the best player on the board right now. Jihad Campbell has no business here at 29. Bobby Wagner has 1 year left. But this guy, he projects to be a tweener, like an edge and a good off-ball backer.
Yeah, I like him, but nah, I'm passing. And I'm being a little biased because the Alabama thing, you see how's it worked, for the Commanders in general. I just think that there's some other guys you can pick. Listen, because at edge, a potential corner, potential receiver, and also running back, because those guys are all sitting there. You have to move on one of them. I mean, Amarion Hampton is special.
Yep. Travion's on the board still too.
Travion's on the board, but I'm telling you, man, I think whoever passes on Luther Burden is going to regret this. I'm telling you, I think he's got star written all over him.
So who do you think Adam Peters and company are selecting at this spot based on what's on the board right now? If they stick and pick at 29.
You heard him say they have no problem going best guy on their board. And that's why I specifically asked that question to him as far as you brought in Debo. But if there's somebody else, and I said I wasn't going to mention his name, but everybody, Adam knew who I'm talking about. It's Luther Burden.
Okay.
Take him. Take
Luther
him.
Burden at 29. We're taking
Take
him.
him.
We're
Take him.
taking Luther Burden the third. You are here. We now have a wide receiving starting trio of Debo Samuels, Luther Burden, and Terry McLaurin. Let's see how the board treats us for the second round.
Because one of them guys still gonna be there when they come back in the second.
Hampton's off the board. Tate Rutledge off the board. Quinshawn Judkins to Dallas. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Makuba. Higgins is gone. Morrison's gone. Porter. Tua Malau. All right. I'm open for business if someone's no one's offering anything that I care about. So, all right. Your boy Princely's there. This is the guy you've heard that they really like. This is the guy you've heard that they really like, right?
Yeah. Yes. Take him. Take him. Take him.
And I'm gonna take your word because you're in the building. You let me know the other day. We had a conversation about this, and you said they really like this dude. Bring him 6'4", undersized guy, but coming off the edge, he does have a high motor. Let's go. So we just started our draft off with Luther Burden III and Princely, and this is cool because this is different than a lot of the stuff I'm seeing for Washington everywhere right now. There we go. We got explosion. We got 2 starters through our first 2 picks. We got 3 picks left. Maybe someone offers us some picks so we can get some additional picks on day 3 of the draft, considering we don't have a 3rd round pick right now. What are we thinking? We got a wide receiver. We got an edge. I want a running back at some point. I want a cornerback at some point, a safety, but we kind of just got to let the board speak to us at this point.
Where did Travion get grabbed yet?
Of course. He went back in the second. So we're talking Dylan Sampson, RJ Harvey.
I like Dylan Sampson from Tennessee. We talked about him the other day.
Rashard Smith. We're talking. We're at that point of the draft right now. I like
RJ Harvey.
Dylan Sampson like tootin' be fumbling the ball, but
but good. RJ Harvey.
Oh, he's explosive. He's just not physical. Like he's not blocking a soul. And that might
he just want the ball.
Yeah, that might matter to the guys that we have here selecting. But let me pull up the best available. Jonas Sanker, that's a guy they've met with a couple times. The safety out of Virginia. Logan Brown, the tackle out of Kansas, is really good. Let's see.
Quincy Riley. Quincy Riley. I from what I'm seeing that's left, Jack Sawyer, I told you too, don't sleep on him. He's got a high motor. But I'm taking Quincy Riley.
The tackle, Jalen Travis out of Iowa State's a dog. They like Quincy Riley. So right now I know for sure. So you know that they're interested in Princely, and we've all seen they've met a couple times with Quincy. Right, he was here for a top 30 at Top Golf.
I was going to say they met with Quincy. Yep. So I would go Quincy Riley.
Okay, so far, we don't have a running back yet. We're gonna have to. It's gonna be slim pickings. We're gonna have to be getting a late day 3 running back. But we got Luther Burden, Princely Oman Mielen, and Quincy Riley so far.
So you just covered 3 bases that are needed though.
Sure did. I'm hoping somebody like RJ Harvey or Devin Neal
if RJ is on there.
This is when I would be trying to package some of those day 3 picks up to try to get up and get one, because all the running backs are gone at this point. This is us. There are a lot of fans that think that we should ignore the running back position. They think we're set at running back. I think that's cap, but there are people that don't think we should touch the running back room. They would be happy to see the board fall like this.
See, I'm looking at, now going into this round. This is the 6th round.
The Arizona kid from that transfer from New Mexico that they met with. Yep, JCM, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Yep, and they got him way down the board. So that's what I'm interested in here.
Yeah, buddy.
That's what I'm interested here at this. But we could probably get him with our final pick.
Is Kevin Winston still on the board?
Oh,
he shouldn't be.
Nah, he's definitely not on the board. Jamin Johnson out of Kentucky, the linebacker, still on the board. Arian Smith, we already took a receiver, so we don't need to
Oh,
take another. Yeah.
Cody Lindenberg, yeah, offensive lineman from Minnesota. I saw on there.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, the linebacker from
I
Minnesota.
mean, a line, but yeah. So, hey, he's not bad. He's not bad at all.
Yep. I think just to be safe, I think I'm gonna go with my running back right now.
Yeah, the
I'm
running
going.
back that they brought in.
Yeah, let's go with JCM. Jalen put me on to him. Jalen really likes this guy.
Okay, all
Corey
right.
Krosky Merritt. He went crazy when he was with New Mexico. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's shifty and he's explosive with the ball in his hands. That's a
Mm-hmm.
late day 3 back that's gonna come in here and compete.
And
Excited
knock
to see.
somebody off the roster.
Yeah, because we know the running back room as it currently stands, that's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily going to be the final copy of it. And how we finishing off this draft class? I like the Kentucky linebacker.
Jalen Smith is also a guy that they
So
that
double up at corner. Let's see.
I don't know if you need to. I mean, because you got Mikey and you got Jonathan Jones.
You can go get the safety from Maryland. He could play special teams for you. He could fill in the
Trader's
safety
not, yeah,
room.
yeah, yeah. Trader's not bad. I think for this pick, I would go lineman. I would go either somebody on either side of the trenches,
Okay.
the best player available from.
Once it gets to our pick, we're going to see what the final board looks like here. And then we're going to do one more where we're going to trade back from 29. We're going
Okay.
to take the best offer they give us.
Yeah, because see, I think that's what's happening.
I think a late offensive lineman would probably be our move here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, go with the
Yeah.
best player on the board in the trenches for sure.
All right. Who is the best offensive lineman? There's a center from Boston College, Drew Kendall. Let me see. I don't
I
know
think
nothing about
more of a guard
a
would
guard or
be.
inside. Okay, so interior. Interior. Tyler Cooper from Minnesota. Go with a
That's who
guard.
I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, there
Yep.
we go. Inside, interior lineman from Minnesota. And this is what we finished up with without making any trades. Luther Burden, Princely, Quincy Riley, JCM, and Tyler Cooper. I would be totally fine with this
Bro,
class.
those 5 picks would be really good.
I don't feel like enough people talk about Princely.
Man, they sleeping and
Mhm,
so when he was at Florida, he was wreaking havoc.
mhm.
And then he obviously transferred to Ole Miss,
That's
and I
stacked.
think,
That team was stacked.
bro, they were stacked. And just look at what he did this year at Ole Miss. The one year he had his most sacks. I think he had like 10 and a half sacks this year.
Princely on one side, they got Jared Ivey on the other side, Walter Nolan. That defense,
That's what I'm telling you. Like,
they're third.
and that's why people don't talk about him as much
Trey
because
Amos.
yeah, Trey Amos, Walter Nolan, and
Yeah,
then of
there's
course the buzz about Jackson Darton on the offense. So, people don't realize this, but Lane Kiffin's putting out some pros, man.
I don't even need to see anymore. I think we got our round one deal. What you think?
Got to jump on that.
We're taking. I see my boy Ezaraku right here, and it's hurting my feelings that we're about to do this. But for the sake of this
Nah,
draft, we
you
are trading
have
back.
to do that. That's a brilliant trade up.
And they're offering us more goods right now. They're offering us even more. Are we going to play the let's keep moving down the board and stacking up picks game? Let me check what the current board looks like
Ooh.
right now. This is fun. This is fun. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So Emeka Ibuka still on the board. Travion Henderson still on the board. Trey Amos still on the
Walter
board.
Nolan's on the board.
Yep. Devon Revel. Hairston still here. Swessinger. Azariah Thomas is here. Oh, I like this. I like what we're looking at here. We have some players on the board.
So you're
And
saying trade, make the other trade too to go back to 40, what was it, 41?
43. So 9 more spots. And we would get 75.
I'm doing it. I'm
Yep,
doing it.
me too. And look, this is what we're working with now. We got 43. We got 43, 61, 75, 120. And look at that. All of a sudden, we go from 5 picks to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks. We got a full
And
Plethora.
those aren't late picks, by the
Mhm.
way.
Yep, those are good picks.
Yeah,
Hella
you
picks
got
in the top 100.
yeah. All
All
right,
right,
so
so
now
what
let's
are
let's
we thinking at 43?
go to Edge real quick just to see,
That dude Femi Oladejo from UCLA is there too, and I know
and
they like him.
you see who else is on there too.
Your guy, and then Braden Swenson, Landon Jackson still there. Let's see. Azariah Thomas, the big corner out of Florida
Oh my
State. I can see
goodness
Dan Quinn
gracious!
wanting to be all over that. Maxwell Hairston. I don't like
Oh
Maxwell
my
Hairston in
god!
the first round, but I think in the second round I can live with Maxwell
At
Hairston.
that 43, yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Ray Harris. Like, what are we thinking first? What do we have to have right
Go
now?
to offense real quick. I just want to see like
We got Savanea. We got Donovan Jackson, the guard from Ohio State, who should be going in the first round. He's still on the board for whatever reason. Judkins is on the board still. Ursery, Ariante Ursery.
are you kidding me?
Yeah, Ursery's still there as well.
All right, man. So I would say go edge with that first pick.
Let's go Femi Oladejo.
Yeah, if you like him more than Princely,
Ah, I need to see more, but I can see why the team likes him, and he just seems like a leader as well. He seems like he comes
then
with
take him.
other
Take him.
intangibles. I think the team really likes him, and a lot
Yep,
of
yep, they
people
do.
really
They
like
brought him in. Yep, and you know Adams UCLA dude.
Yeah. And again, Ken Norton Jr., you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? That's a USCLA guy. So I'm pretty sure he has the full skinny on the player. And let me see. Are we back on the clock? We are back on the clock now at 61. Azarie Thomas is staring at me right now.
Then you
I
take
want
him.
Quinshawn Judkins, but
Mm-mm,
there's a
mm-mm.
chance
You
Judkins
have
is
to
there at
take You
75.
have to take Thomas.
Yeah, you got to
You
take the
have
big
to.
body. That's a Dan Quinn prototype written all
Absolutely.
over it. And Judkins is off the board now as well. Not a fan of these. I think we've done enough trading for this one. We've acquired enough
Hmm.
pick. And we're at our next pick.
Ooh,
Look
Kevin
who,
Winston is sitting on the board.
ooh,
And wait. And Princely is sitting on the board
is
as
still
well.
there if you wanted to double up at
But
edge.
you might have to. This the Eagle. We talking how the Eagles do business now.
Yeah, because that is something Philadelphia would do. We got Kevin Winston, Elike Manor, Obar Norman Lott on the D as a D tackle. He's a
Hmm.
dog. He's a dog, man.
Yo, I'm
Ooh,
taking Princely. I'm just telling you, man. Like that
yep.
dude is special, man.
Our boy Kennard is here still.
Oh no. Ooh.
Cam
Oh,
Scatterbo,
whoa. Demetrius Knight is on there.
the
Look him
linebacker,
up real quick. I'm
Carolina.
trying to
Yeah,
tell you,
he's a
brother.
dog. He's a dog. He's a dog. He's a dog. I think it's a little like unless like I don't know if I want to back her here.
Now you can get one at 75
Yep.
or 124.
No, we're at
I'm
70.
telling you, I might double up on the edge rushers, and you've answered the question. Now each guy can be just molded and you know you have a guy like Wise who's here now who can help.
As a Penn State fan, you're willing to pass on Kevin Winston
Oh
Jr.
no, I love Kevin Winston. I absolutely love Kevin Winston.
He's like that.
Yeah, he is,
When
and
healthy, he's really good.
I think for me, I would take Winston because you already have your edge,
Yeah, that's what I would do. But I could see the team definitely doubling up if the board looked
bro.
like how it was.
If Princely was sitting there and oh my gosh,
I think with 124, I'm not trying to play games. I think we should go ahead and get the running back knocked out.
so this the thing. This the thing. We took Winston, but you know people have to remember that they also still like no, I can't believe I'm drawing up going brain dead. Undrafted
Tyler Owens.
Tyler
Tyler Owens.
Owens. They
Yep.
really like Tyler Owens.
I think this may be Dylan Sampson territory at 124 right here.
Is that the best back you see up there still?
Yeah, I think he goes. I think he goes in the third round in real life. I think
Yeah, I do
Dylan
too. I mean,
goes
he's
in the third.
fast.
We're in the fourth. Yeah, he's good.
He
He's a
just
touchdown
fumbles.
machine. Yeah, but
He just
he doesn't fumble
fumbles.
as much as Bashal Tootin, but he did it so because he fumbled like 4 games in a row this year, and
Hmm.
that's kind
Hmm.
of crazy.
Hmm.
But
I think I would take Dylan Sampson right there because
Ty Felton's on the board too.
ooh wee. Yeah, but I think Dylan Sampson might be the guy because they need some speed in that backfield for sure.
They do. They do. I think they need, and he's a touchdown. He had like 20 touchdowns this year.
Yeah,
Yep, there we go. We got us a running back earlier. I move one pick back and we grab 188 just to lose a 2026 seventh round pick, just to
yeah,
add another pick. Sure.
yeah.
Another dart throw. Let's go. So we got Femi Oladejo, Azarie. Okay, now I think this might be some of our best work. Yeah, this is a good one. This is good.
Mhm.
This is good. There's a lot of picks. I don't really think we need this many picks, but I'm not minding having this many dart throws. Noel Williams. No, we already took a cornerback. We don't need a cornerback here. There's the guard from Georgia on the board. We haven't taken an offensive lineman yet.
Jordan Phillips sitting up there too.
Anthony Belton, the tackle out of NC State. That's a tackle. Throw him at right. Throw him to compete at right with Brandon Coleman.
Yep. R.J. Mickens. Ooh, boy.
Jalen Travis, the tackle out of Iowa State. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
Malachi Moore has too many character. People are saying that he's not even draftable from a character concern, but he's a baller.
But they say on that.
They're saying he is a terrible person. That's what everybody's saying. They say he's awful. Like,
yeah.
JJ. Oh, another one of them Ole Miss defensive linemen.
Yeah, I think.
Are we thinking offensive or defensive lineman here?
I'm thinking. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah. So. Yeah, I'm thinking. Offensive lineman.
Okay, offensive lineman. We think a tackle or guard because these are some good tackles right here with Anthony Belton and Jalen Travis.
Man, I think I would take Anthony Belton.
Okay, Anthony Belton, 6'6", 336.
Yeah, take a monster. That's what you need. Monsters.
Big mauler. Big mauler. All right, never gonna hear me complain about protecting Jaden Daniels, man. We probably should grab us a receiver coming up real soon.
Yeah, because we didn't take any of them.
Do we double up anywhere? Like maybe take another running back, maybe like a third down back type guy. Let's see it receiver. They got the speed guy from Georgia. He can't. His hands stink, but he's fast as hell. The big body boy from Maryland.
Oh, Jimmy Horn Jr.
Jimmy Horn Jr. out of Colorado.
Yes, I think he's going to be a good football player. I do.
It's one of Prom's boys right there, man. You want Jimmy Horn Jr.?
Yeah, I think I would take Jimmy
He
Horn.
doesn't have much size. Sure. We're not looking for size right now.
We're just looking for somebody who can get down the field.
Speed. We want more team speed. Got it. And I think he plays faster than he ran, too.
Yes, he does.
I expected him to run faster, but who cares, ultimately? All right, we're down to our final. This is our final pick because we lost 245. This is our last pick. We've covered most of our grounds here at this point. Do we add another? They like Jalen Smith.
I like Jalen Smith right there. I was going to say I would take him because I know they like him.
Double up at corner. I wouldn't be mad at it. I know they like the guy. They've met with him a couple times. Let's see.
Yeah, I would say Jalen Smith for sure.
Kansas corner is pretty good as well. You know what? We're going to go with Jay. We're going to double up. You can never have too many corners on the roster, and especially considering, we got to see how healthy Marshawn's going to be this year. And outside of Marshawn, Jonathan Jones and Mikey Sanders still, we need depth at that position. So Jalen Smith, come on down. You join Azarie Thomas. This is a good draft right here.
That's a great draft.
For those people who are sticklers and dying for quantity and getting more picks. Yeah, man. Like, I don't care how many picks we get as long as we hit. As long as we hit on a certain amount of guys, I don't care how many picks that we have.
And people need to understand too. Yes, they went to the NFC Championship game last year, but currently constructed before any of these potential draft picks would come into play.
Do we have another pick? I think we have one more. Oh, we do.
We have one more because Washington. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I'm going off offensive line. Somebody in the trenches.
Okay. Hey, if you want to double up at running back, both our
Yeah,
running backs
Jordan
are on
James.
1 year
Jordan
deals.
James, not
Jordan
bad.
James or Woody Marks out of USC. Woody Marks is a third down back. He is like we would have the pair in Dylan Sampson and Woody Marks going forward after B Rob and Eckler are free this offseason. Our whole running back room's on a 1 year contract. Do we Jordan James is a
Yeah,
dog,
what?
though.
Yeah,
Jordan
what?
James is a
Yeah,
dog.
Jordan James, a dog, man. I would probably go with Jordan
But he
James.
but his like I feel like if we're gonna double up at back, we need a pass catcher, third scat back, third down type guy.
Which is Woody Marks isn't really he's a pass catcher, but
Yeah,
he's a bruiser.
with the ball in his hand. Let's
Nazir
see.
Stackhouse.
Stackhouse
Oh
out of
my
Georgia.
goodness gracious.
Georgia is tricky, man, because they're so
Yeah,
damn
you could hit or
talented.
miss.
Some of it's like,
Brew
are these
McCoy.
guys
Brew
really
McCoy. Brew McCoy.
out of
Brew
Tennessee? The big body receiver, right?
mm-hmm.
Another receiver. Yep.
Brew McCoy was the number one rated receiver coming out of high school.
That's
He's a
cool. Yep.
5-star.
Bring him. Bring him. See, there's a lot of picks. Like, I don't need 8 picks. Like me personally, I think we cooked up though. I think this is fire. It's a lot of draft picks, but
Bro,
this
that's a lot of talent. That's future talent. And see, that's what I was gonna say. People have to understand the team was in the NFC Championship game last year,
Yep.
but before the draft, as of today, currently constructed, Washington has, I think, the second oldest team in the NFL. And that's surprising when you think about it. But that's why you get guys like this, and you don't expect a whole lot because someone said, there's no one in this draft that we've just done that's a day one starter, and that's okay because before free agency started, before any trades were made, we were talking about they need a left tackle. We were
Yep.
talking about they need another receiver to go with Terry. Well, you've got two Pro Bowlers now filling those voids. So they needed a safety. Well, Will Harris is a really good safety who's playing his best football now. So I think these picks are solid, man.
Evan
Super solid.
Jr. will easily be the rangiest safety we have the day he gets here.
Yes.
Asarie would allow Mikey Sanders still to
To
slide
go in the
back to the
slot.
inside, and Jonathan Jones can be depth.
Yep.
Femi's gonna start opposite Dorrance Armstrong.
Well, if he doesn't, he would definitely be in the rotation because I could see Diedrich.
Dietrich Wise, yeah, Dietrich Wise, yeah. They could slow play it because since he is
Yep.
a 1 year into it, so yeah, you're right.
Yep. Yep.
Dylan Sampson was getting touches as a rookie,
He's getting touches for sure.
and he's
And
going to
I
work
think, and I
that
think,
RB1 role.
right, Belton could see some. If he comes in and plays particularly well, he could be your right tackle.
Yep. And Jimmy Horn Jr. offers like vertical threat guy that we do not have on the roster
At all. I mean, outside of Terry,
Yeah, that's it.
that's
That's
it.
it.
Yep. So Jimmy Horn could be your third or fourth receiver, to stretch the field.
Yeah, man. I don't think we got it. Like, there's no reason to even do another one at this. But this is it. This is
Nah,
the
this
one.
one
This is
fire.
the final finale.
I think this one and the one we did the other day,
Yeah, the one we did last week. Yeah.
the one we did last week. Did you ever get a chance to see
Oh
what
yeah.
that was?
I gotta go screenshot it. I gotta go
I'm
screenshot.
telling you, got to screenshot that, man. That might have been one of the best mocks ever. It was that solid because none of that stuff's gonna fall the way that worked out. We had like 3 first rounders in our first 3 picks. So, but this right here was work, man. This right here was knowing who you're going after. I could live with this.
And we hit on everything that we need.
And traded back, got more picks. I mean, walked away, came into it with 5, walked out of it with what, 8? Come on,
Yep.
man.
8 picks, and we doubled up at a couple positions. We doubled up at wide receiver. We doubled up at cornerback. Those are rooms that always you're going to be deep at on your roster. We need another tackle because we need to see what Brandon Coleman's going to be, whether he's going to be a right tackle or guard. I still think he ultimately ends up at guard.
Me too.
And I love the first 4 picks of the class.
So you think about it. You could potentially, in a year's time, not this year, but next year, go into camp with a lineup of Laramie Tunsil, as far as your offensive line, Laramie Tunsil. I'm gonna say Brandon Coleman, Beatis as your center,
Cosme.
and Cosme and then your boy right here,
Anthony Belton,
Belton.
bong, with Dylan Sampson starting at running back, and with Terry on one side, maybe an extended Debo Samuel.
Hmm.
Jimmy Horn's probably like your wide receiver 4 or 5
Hmm.
with speed, and we're gonna see if Brew McCoy makes the. He's at least a practice squad player.
Yeah,
So
but if Brew McCoy plays to his potential, some injuries and then he transferred because if I'm not mistaken, I feel like Brew McCoy signed with USC out of high school, and transferred if I'm not mistaken, or was it Texas? But I
it
know
was it
he,
was it was a good school, and he transferred. I don't know
yeah,
what school.
it might have been Texas, but he was that dude coming out of high school. Everyone was talking about him, so you never know.
Yep. So ultimately, Washington is in good hands. We all need to sit back and let Adam Peters and company operate. We are in amazing hands. This is our first draft as contenders, probably of my lifetime. So I'm excited to see how this thing plays out. We are one day away from the NFL draft. One more time, Lake, call your shot. Who is getting called, if anybody, on Thursday night for Washington? Or nobody.
I think they're trading back, but I think the first guy that they can pick, and today I'm actually on my pod. I'm actually talking about four guys that I think you need to keep an eye on. Luther Burden is one.
Okay.
Princely, Uman Manmielen is another one.
Mhm.
So there's two right there. Travion Henderson. I just think the buzz on him going into the draft is just going to just keep moving and moving and moving. But I do like Travion Henderson, and I think he's the third guy that I have on there. And then the fourth guy that I have on there, surprisingly, it's you're going to be like, what? I think if Nick Emanwari is anywhere around 26, they might move up for him.
Dog. He's a dog, man. Ellison said, Lake, if they trade down and get a few more picks, could they move one of those newer picks to get someone like Brees Hall? What are your thoughts? Because I
Yeah,
have thoughts.
absolutely. Because I mean, the talk is from what I heard was that the Jets were looking at a running back,
Mhm.
and I'm like, man, but you got three. I mean, that means you would have three. So yeah, if Brees Hall is out there, people don't realize, man, just what was it, 2 years ago before he got hurt his knee? That
It
guy
was a
was on
it
fire.
was a demon. My thing is the injury, one, and two, he has about 1 year left on his rookie contract.
So
I
you're gonna
don't
have
want
to
to,
pay
I'm not trying to pay a running back. So why do that when
when you
I
can
can
draft
draft
one.
a kid that I'm going to have under contractual control that's 21, 22 years old and that has not suffered an injury in the NFL yet? That's the only reason why I
Absolutely.
wouldn't do it. But
And
I
as a
like Brees Hall, though.
a game breaker on top of that. So for me, I think if you can get Travion, if you can get Sampson, those are my two guys that I think will be in their wheelhouse that, they could possibly pull it off with as far as their speed. So we'll see. All I know is, man, respectfully, we did these mocks and they all look great. But Adam, man, that's the dude, man. That's the guy that's gonna get this thing done. And I really am interested to see come Saturday evening what this final thing looks at. I wouldn't
Oh,
even be surprised if they get some ringers as far as undrafted.
undrafted free agent. Yeah, man. I
It-
expect I expect Adam Peters and them to work out during this draft. Next week, next Wednesday, same time, we should be talking about a very fun draft class that this team had.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't touch that other question right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
I get
That
in trouble
Shannon
for
Sharp.
that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. Blake might get in trouble for that. Hey, all I'm gonna say is 54-19 is a little crazy, but hey, it's not against the law, but it's a little crazy for me. Lake can't speak on that one too much. When he get off, I might talk about it at some point. Lake, let people know where they can find you, find your radio show, and follow you on social media.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. You can check me out on social media at Lake Lewis Jr. You can check out my show, Lake Lewis Jr. Show. It's on YouTube. You can watch it there on the Lake Lewis Jr. channel. And then also you can subscribe to it on all the major podcast carriers, and you can listen to it if you're in the DMV area. You can listen to it on WOL, which is 1450 AM and 95.9 FM. That's on Tuesdays. I do the show on there for now. Yeah, man. And then, of course, I'm NFL writer for heavy.com, and then,
Yeah,
sportsjourney.com. We're still around, got some young guys running that for me, doing a great job. So, yeah, it's a lot more stuff coming too, brother. I just got picked up another thing yesterday. So,
let's go.
we'll be talking about that probably by the time we come on again next week.
Brother Lake is doing things out here. Make sure y'all following up, sub up to his channel, and be on the lookout because Lake's gonna be spending all night at the facility and over the next
The next couple
couple
nights.
days. Yep, the next couple nights. So make sure you're fueled up and you're geared up for the festivities, my guy.
Yes, sir. I will be. I will be. It's exciting at the same time. Late, but it's exciting. So we'll keep you posted.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for coming on, Lake.
All right, fam. Good seeing you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What y'all think? Let's do one more mock for shits and giggles. One more mock so we can close out mock draft season until all eternity or until next off season at least. One more mock with the gang. Let's go. Let's lock in. Y'all gonna will me on this one. I'm a go with the consensus this time. Y'all got it. Y'all are driving the boat. Y'all are driving the boat. Take the wheel, Jesus. Like I'm a listen to y'all. Come on, area scouts and coaches. Let's come up with something fire to end the mock draft season. Well, tonight me and Jalen are doing a full first round mock, but this is our last 7-round Commanders mock of this off season. Talk to me. Tyler Booker, Walter Nolan, Emeka Ibuka, Omarion Hampton, Trey Amos, Josh Connerly, Luther Burden, Travion Henderson, Javon Revel, Maxwell Hairston, Donovan Jackson, Xavier Wire. Who are we taking here? Are we taking the fat boy, Tyler Booker, and filling in that guard spot for all eternity? What are we doing? What are we thinking? Chat, talk to me. Talk to me. You're the captain now. Exactly. You got it. You got it. Best available in trade 61. Talk to me. Look at the board and y'all tell me what y'all see. Because I know what I would do. This is about y'all now. This is the chat. I'm the person you're turning the card into in Green Bay. It's y'all world. Talk to me. I know what I would do. I'm 1,000% taking an offensive player here. What are y'all doing in this spot? Look at trades. Let's see what the offers are. 46 and a second in 2026. 1 pick back, and we get a third for next year, meaning we would have 2 third-rounders. None of those offers move me. Do they move you? This is y'all's draft. Come on. Come on. Henderson, Luther. Lufa. My boy Lufa. If this world were mine. Who we taking, y'all? Travion, just to see how they shake out that way. They are going to shake out differently. The trades they weren't really speaking to my soul. I'm not going to hold you. Travion got the consensus in the chat right now. Ain't no way Tyler Booker's still there. Yeah, I don't think his big ass is there either, but his big dancing bear ass has to be a consideration at this spot. I know guard is going to underwhelm the shit out of us on draft day, but Charles said take the Buffalo truck. Oh, yeah, just to move one back and still get a player. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, Charles. You're right. You know what? My brother Charles. Walter Nolan's still on the board. Emeka Ibuka. There's some. Yeah, let's take this one. Let's take this trade. Let's add a third for next year because we did lose a second and a fourth. Okay. Now we're at 30. We're in the Bills spot right now. Who went off? Oh, shit. Hold on. They took Amos. Okay, I saw TRE. I thought it was Henderson. Okay, they took Amos. We're now sitting at the 30 spot. The Jets are offering us 42, 73, and 110 for 30 and 128. That's a lot to chew on. Let's see what else people are talking about. They want us to move 29 spots back to pick up 91 and to recoup our second and fourth for the Tunzel trade. That is a steep ass trade back, but the ramifications of it are that the Laramie Tunzel trade pretty much didn't happen for next year because we just recouped a third for next year. So an extra third, and then we would have a second and a fourth. They would be a late second and a fourth because the Baltimore Ravens are annual contenders. Talk to me. Talk to me. What are we thinking? What are we? And also, let's look at the board. Booker, for whatever reason, is still on the board. Maybe teams just think he's fat. Walter Nolan's still here. Mecca Buka. Hampton's still on the board. Connolly's still on the board. Burton's still on the board. Travion still on the board. Revel Hairston, the whole nine. Every player we were just looking at is still here. Do we move back again? Do we stick and pick? Do y'all still want Henderson here? Emeka Ibuka. Emeka Ibuka definitely feels like a commander tag player. I think Emeka Ibuka would be high on the best player available here, but this is y'all's pick. This is y'all's pick. Sing that shit. That was Lufa. I'm singing a whole verse from the song We Draft Luther Burden tomorrow. I was scared that we lost Henderson too, but it was Trey Amos. Jets trade, does that interest? Or do y'all want Henderson here? Y'all want see, mock drafts are fun. Everyone mocks and shits on mock draft. This shit is fun as hell, bro. It's like you get to control your team's draft. Like, I see why everybody loses their minds over these things. I like mock drafts, to be perfectly honest. This shit is fun as hell. This shit is super fun. But matter of fact, let me put it like this because the screen was bigger for y'all the other way. You know what? Let me put it back to here. No, that is not. No. Nope. There we go. There we go. What are we doing here, y'all? Do y'all want Hampton Henderson? Henderson looks like the consensus. Do y'all want any of these trades? Let's go over them one more time. Jets, Raven. That Ravens trade is looking like a steep trip backwards, but you're getting 91. That's a third round pick, and you're getting a second and fourth that you lost in the Laramie Tunzel trade back. So is it worth going back that far? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Jets trade. I'm seeing Jets trade. Jets trade. We need a splash draft. Take Travion, Henderson, or Luther. If this world were mine, Burden. We need Travion, not a want. Need a running back. Jets is appealing, but we may miss out on Henderson. If we trade back that far, we missing out on a few somebodies. What do we think? Maybe, okay, let's stick and pick here. We made a trade back already. Let's not play NFL draft musical chairs. We're going to reject the picks. Is the consensus? Everybody throw a name up in the chat. It looks like Travion Henderson is the leader in the clubhouse right now. Brought my singing voice. No trade. Take Henderson. Henderson. Luther, Henderson. No trade. Take Henderson. Travion Henderson. Hell no. Henderson. Burden. I said they like the Hopewell, Virginia, man. You can fill hella trades with hella holes with the Jets trade. But I want a player here. I don't want 1,000 draft picks for 70% of them to not be instant contributors. I need some ballers on this roster. Henderson's a second round running back. We're picking at 29. First round grades stop around 20 in the draft. So this is about where you would take a second round type running back. But Henderson, there's a good chance he's going on night one tomorrow. A lot. We're not the only team that likes it. He can go to Denver. He can go to a couple places tomorrow. Henderson is the consensus. We are taking Travion Henderson at pick 30. Taking a running back at pick 30 who is projected to go in round 2 is that is not a reach. That is not a reach. You're picking 30. We're not picking 17th, 15th, 14th anymore. The Patriots have offered us pick 69 and a fourth next year. The Falcons have offered us 118. Nah, I'm cool. To be perfectly honest, I'm cool. We're taking a pick here. This is the board, guys. Jalen Noel, dog. TJ Sanders, dog. Ariante Ursery, dog. We need an edge. We need an edge. We took a running back in the first round. This is what edge looks like, guys. This is what edge looks like right now. Braden Swinson, Princely Oman Mielen, Jordan Birch, Ashton Galat, Kyle Kennard, David Walker. We may be able to get an edge with the next pick. We may be able to work out an edge with the next pick. What are we thinking, chat? What are we thinking, chat? Princely, he's not getting past KC. Ursery, Ariante Ursery. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Jack Sawyer. I like Jack Sawyer. Do we need him at 61 though? Darius Alexander is a fucking dog. I think best player available would be Noel or Ursery. Let me scroll down this thing a little bit more, though. Kyle Williams is on the board. That would be skilled players back to back. That would piss some people off, but that's sexy. You know, Adam Peters on this. Let's make it look sexy in the draft. If we go skilled players back to back, what are we thinking? Talk to me. Give me names in the chat. Give me names in the chat. Princely, Braden Swinson. Braden Swinson's good. I'm cool with Braden Swinson. Louis T sold me on Braden Swinson. What good corners are left? Let's see. Let's see. Jacob Parrish out of Kansas State, who no one talks about, but he's a dog. Noah Williams, Denzel Burke, and Hancock. So both Ohio State cornerbacks. Zy Alexander, 6'1 cornerback out of LSU. Our boy Quincy Riley, who we know the team likes. Then there's Kobe Bryant, a little bit undersized, but he's a dog. I don't know if he fits the Quinn size metrics for a cornerback. I know what I would do. It would be Ursery or Jalen Noel or Darius Alexander for me. What are we thinking? Jack Betch, the LSU edge, Swinson. Y'all want Swinson here? Isaiah Bond is a little bit too soon for Bond at this point. Cameron Williams. I need 10 picks. I'm trading down. Phones are open. 10 picks I don't need 10 picks. 10 picks is crazy. 10 picks is extra as hell. I don't want 10 draft picks on this specific team. I like Noel and Ariante Ursery and Braden Swinson and Darius Alexander. Who do y'all like? Who are we picking here, y'all? We're on the clock. Let's go. Who are we picking? Isaiah Bond might need Bond. Tis true. Tis true. As Kendrick say, Isaiah got a weird case. Why is he around? I like Swinson. Oh, Kevin Winston still on the board as well. Kevin Winston out of Penn State. Ursery. Can y'all live with what's left if we don't take Braden Swinson here? Jalen Noel, the wide receiver for Ohio State Cyclones, ran a 4.39 40. Sure did. He's a dog. Hey, we start the draft off with Travion and Noel. This offense just got so fucking fast. Fuck it, we scoring 50 a game. Try to trade back with Jacksonville. They're at 70. Let me see. Noel, F it. How many draft picks you think we're going to end up with by the draft? I think we had one. I think we picked 6. And that's a good number for me. I think we're going to add a pick at some point with either a trade back in the first or second round. We're going to get there. Winston or Noel. Jalen Noel. Jalen Noel, you are a Washington Commander, and we just got ridiculously fast on offense. Now let's get somebody who can rush the fucking passer now, guys. How about that? Let's see at 128 if there's still going to be a player that can go get a quarterback still on the board. Fadil Diggs out of Syracuse. Powell Ryland, the Hokie. I know there's somebody that's going to vouch for Hokie. Jared Ivey is a very good run setter, edge setter. It's slim pickings, though. It's slim pickings out there. It's slim pickings, but we got the other LSU edge, Jared Ivey, APR, Diggs out of Syracuse is probably the best bet at this point, but it became slim pickings real quick. It became slim pickings real quick. If the draft goes like this, uh, oh man, we need an edge. I think Diggs would be my pick here. Diggs a dog. What else is on the board though? Let's see what else is here. We need to draft a defensive player here though. RJ Mickens is a fucking dog. I like him. If Malachi Moore wasn't so fucking stupid, that would be a player I'd consider. Like I've heard multiple people just say Malachi Moore is like a piece of shit. Like he's a piece of shit human. And I was like, that's fucking aggressive. But when multiple people are saying it, it's like, there's probably something to it. There's probably something to it. Cliff, oh yeah, please, Cliff, never leave. Please, Cliff, never leave. I'm like, Louis, we could take Sorrell later, but we want a starter. I think Diggs could start. Diggs or Ivy could start. Diggs or Ivy could start. Phillips, okay. I like Jared Ivy. He big. He a big boy. He's a big boy. 2 RAS score is scary, but long, athletic, explosive first step, ability to run in. You know what, Jared Ivy? You sound like a goddamn commander to me. Come on down. Trevion Henderson, Jalen Noel. Jalen Noel. Jalen Noel. My bad. Let me say his name right. Jared Ivy. We got 2 picks left at 205 and 245. We're back to best player available on the board for us right now. What are we thinking? Jalen Smith, the corner out of USC, still on the board, y'all. Caden Prather, if we want to bring a Terrapin home. This one I'd be like, all right, let's start having the conversation. Let's go bring our boy Gabe Taylor home. BJ Adams out of UCF. What are y'all seeing? Here? Logan Brown. Jordan James. So another running back. 6'3" and weighs 252 pounds. The Hokie. Hey, we trying, man. We trying out here, man. Our offense, we got fast as shit on offense. For a team that lacks team speed, they no longer lack team speed because these boys can move. These boys can fly. The tackle from Wisconsin is speaking to me, but who's speaking to y'all here? The cornerback from Florida, Marshall, my boy Jason Marshall. Jordan James, run that split and pistol, keep them guessing. Wouldn't be mad, man. I like Caden Prather, the big wide receiver out of Maryland. I like it. We cannot take a running back with our first pick. That would be team building malpractice. I disagree. Certain teams can do that. Ask the Lions how disruptive was their team building when they took Jahmyr Gibbs in the top 15 when nobody had Jahmyr Gibbs going in the top 25. Ask them how disruptive that was to their team building. He's a pull, 500 snaps, gave up 0 sacks, PFF highest protector. What are we thinking here, y'all? I know they looked at Lampkin. They interviewed Lampkin this offseason a couple times. They met with him a couple times. What are we thinking right now? Call out that pick, man. The Eagles declined his 5th-year option. Boy, the Johannes so cooked, man. My God. No, that wasn't a bad example. You said drafting a running back with your first pick is bad for team building. They drafted a running back with their first pick, and he's the second best running back in the NFL right now. I'm correct. You're not. I'm sorry. Cam Jackson, defensive tackle for the Florida Gators. I don't know if Dan Quinn likes D tackles that big, though. Yeah, you hate to hear it for Jahan. You hate to hear it for Jahan. You know? We trying to win now 100%. We're not worried about contracts 5 years down the line when we can win a damn Super Bowl this year. Next year, if we do it right, you got to maximize that title window. You're talking like, how is that a terrible example when Brian Robinson, who's meant to be a complimentary running back, gets paired with a starting running back? It's the same type of situation, and we're a little further along in the build right now. We are ready to win right now. I wouldn't see any problem. There are teams in must-work situations that take running backs much earlier in the draft, and it works out for them. Bijan Robinson's working out just fine for the Atlanta Falcons right now. He's a dog. He's a dog, man. Ballers are ballers, man. Ballers are ballers. It is what it is. How we finishing up this draft, y'all? How we finishing up this draft, y'all? Cam Jackson out of Florida is just he's a little bigger than Dan Quinn's D tackle. Like I'm still confused about what we're doing with Eddie Goldman because we don't really use nose tackles and boys that big over here, you know? Jahmyr Gibbs is more versatile than Derrick Henry. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs over Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's not the second best running back in the league. It's Jahmyr Gibbs. He's the most versatile. Jahmyr Gibbs had like over 2,000 fucking total yards last year. Jahmyr Gibbs is an absolute dog. I mean, you keep fighting that fight by yourself. You asked for an example of team building. I gave it to you, and now you're arguing. You're wrong. It's okay, man. It happens, man. It happens. You can't draft the running back first to team build. Gave you an example, and now you're mad at the example. Sorry, man. Touch grass. I'm taking Jack Nelson here. Final pick of the draft. What are we doing with it? And we did acquire a third. And I think what people need to not miss out when we talk about Washington's draft class this year is that we acquired Laramie Tunsil and Deebo Samuel, y'all. We acquired two guys this offseason, man. More trenches to finish the draft? Cam Jackson, fuck it. I'd bring some beef here. I just don't know if that's what Quinn is really looking for. I don't see Eddie Goldman making this team. We don't be putting too many seriously big boys up there. Oh, Georgia, let's get us a guard. But a guard and a tackle to close the draft, is that necessary? I like skill players late. Essa Poe. Let me search him because that's a name you gotta search a little bit for this one. Essa Poe out of Washington State. PFN hates him. 6'5", 323. Pretty good RAS score for a tackle. Back-to-back tackles is kind of crazy. Kobe King out of Penn State. What haven't we taken? We haven't taken a secondary player, y'all. Y'all want a corner or a safety? Y'all want old boy from Jackson State that they met with a couple times? Sanders here. What's Sanders? Are we talking Shiloh? Shiloh fucking sucks, Charles. Shiloh ass. I couldn't do it. Shiloh ass. Shiloh big ass. Double cheeked up on a Sunday afternoon type ass. Definitely not Shiloh. Yeah, let's get a secondary player. I know Marshall, that's my guy. A third rounder for Jahan, and they declined his fifth-year option. Adam Peters, my GM always winning. And our God loves our GM, baby. Let's go. Oh, you had the name wrong. Okay, I thought you meant Shiloh Sanders. Shiloh some shit. Shiloh, Dion gonna talk some team into drafting him, whoever drafts Shador. Shiloh gonna be smooth on the Steelers. Smooth on the Steelers. Last pick of this one. Who we thinking? Let me pull up the secondary. The corners. We got Isaac Waxter, Jason Marshall, Elijah Hustle. Elijah, that last name is so fire. O'Donnell Fortune, the Gamecock. That's crazy that they go so deep, but they don't put Gabe Taylor on this shit. They don't have Gabe not on the draft simulator. Gabe not on that joint. Marshall Jr. I like Jason Marshall Jr. I love you don't even gotta I think he was supposed to be better in college. Nah, Gabe's not on this joint for whatever reason. Nazir Stackhouse or Yaya Black. I think he realized that they need a big boy on the line. Yeah, because that's a big boy. That's a big boy. For the last pick, let's do it. Hey, we can say Gabe Taylor's the last pick, and we can just go with that because they don't got him on this joint. They don't have him on the mock draft simulator. Gabe Taylor coming in at 245 as a legacy pick, but a part of me doesn't want Gabe Taylor because fans are going to get their little panties in a bunch if he doesn't make the team. You are not promised a roster spot because we love your brother more than anything in this world. So I advise and warn everybody who wants Gabe Taylor on this team. If he's not good enough to make the team and doesn't win a job in camp, don't picket sign protests outside of the facility if he gets released or waived. And I feel like it's going to get really weird here because fans get really weird over players here. I'm just saying. Don't be weird if we draft or sign Gabe Taylor. And I know how our fans is. I think he could make the team because Gabe Taylor can actually ball. He's a little undersized as a safety, but he actually hoops. He has turnover production and he can bring the boom. But all I ask is that we don't, like, I already know, like, people are going to slide for Gabe when he gets released if we get brought in, because I've seen people ready to slide for Simi Cobbs and Thaddeus Moss and Jimmy Moreland and Kelvin Harmon. I've seen people crash out and threaten being fans of other team over players like that. If Sean Taylor's little brother gets cut, they're going to lose their fucking mind. Lose their fucking mind. Jahmyr Gibbs also had a bunch of receiving yards. And when you put those receiving yards on top of that, that's about a 2,000-yard season as well. Why are we still talking about this? You know? The undrafted free agents pool is going to be bananas. That's when I'm signing a kicker as well. So we're going to end this one and we're going to call this one Gabe Taylor in round 7. So we came away with Travion, Noel, Ivy, Jack Nelson, Gabe Taylor, and we got an extra third for next year that helps because we lost our second and our fourth to the Tunzel trade. Mock draft season is concluded, y'all. Mock draft season has concluded, and we are on to the motherfucking NFL draft tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Washington is on the clock at 29. Are we making a pick? Are we making a pick? That is the question. That is the question that everybody wants to know. Are we sticking and picking or are we trading back? I want us to pick a player, man, for selfish reasons. For selfish reasons, man. You know? And just to finish up this pointless argument that this person's having with themselves in the chat, Jahmyr Gibbs had just under 2,000 total yards and 20 touchdowns last year. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs as the number 2 running back in the NFL, period. It's banana pudding zesty boy season. If you know, you know. And one time for scooting tooting, Bashal scooting tooting, we better leave this weekend with a fucking running back. We bet a running back and an edge. All I need out of this class. A running back and an edge. Everything else, it's your world, Adam Peters. I need somebody who can get the quarterback, and I need somebody that has some type of explosion in the running back room, some type of vision explosion combo that can find the end zone, because we don't have a lick of juice in that running back room right now. We don't have a lick of juice in that running back room right now. That shit is nasty. But it's time, y'all. By this time tomorrow, we're going to be prepared for the draft. Tonight, full first round mock draft with my boy Jalen. We're picking every pick from the first round of the draft. I'll be drafting the evens. He'll be drafting the odds. And there's going to be some surprises, and there's going to be a couple trades. I don't know how we're going to do that in the mock draft simulator because they will not let me make some of these trades, but it's going to get a little creative and roast us for how we did on the draft, baby. But that's all I got for right now. Thank you for everybody who pulled up over this last hour and 45 minutes. Smash that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Mock draft, full first round tonight. Final prediction for pick 29 video coming out tomorrow. And the group chat boys, me and my guys, Tay Todd, Alex, Zach, Jalen, we will be together watching the whole first round of the draft. And then on Friday, I will be with Lou, Ed, and Rico. We will be reacting to the whole day 2 of the draft. I think Lil Rio will be with me, sitting next to me. This will be his first draft where he understands football and is actually into it and into some of the prospects. And in day 3, it'll be me and Lil Rio again on my channel. Y'all have a blessed hump day. I'm about to go get me some food and hit the gym before my stream tonight. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're about to get better this weekend.